Welcome back, everyone. I am going to try really hard not to move my hands and talk with my hands as much as I typically do. But so, have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I eat pretty healthy, I drink my water, I try to exercise, yet you're still bloated, your weight won't budge, your hormones feel completely out of control, and maybe you're only having a bowel movement every few days? What if I told you that constipation might be one of the biggest missing pieces of the puzzle? So, today I want to talk about the hidden connection between constipation and hormone imbalance because this is something I see all the time in women, especially during perimenopause. Most people think constipation is simply about not pooping enough. But from a functional health perspective, constipation can affect almost every system in your body. It can affect your hormones, it can affect your weight, it can affect your skin, it can affect your energy, it can affect your mood. And most women don't realize just how important healthy bowel movements are. Now, let's start with what constipation actually is. So many people assume that if they're having a daily bowel movement every day, they aren't constipated. And that's not always true. You can be having a bowel movement daily and still be constipated if you don't feel like you're fully emptied, your stools are hard, you strain, you skip days regularly, you feel bloated all the time, you feel like food just sits in your stomach, or the infamous you're pooping and it's just a little couple little rabbit pellets. Ideally, we want 1 to 3 easy, complete bowel movements per day. Most people don't do three. Some people don't do one, but you want at least one. 1 to 3 is ideal. Your digestive tract is essentially your body's waste removal system. You want to think of it like taking out the trash. I've used this analogy more than once. If you don't take out the trash, what happens? It starts to pile up, it starts to smell, it starts to create problems. And the same thing happens inside of our body. So, one of the biggest reasons constipation impacts hormones has to do with estrogen. Now, last week I did a video on estrogen and estrogen recycling in the body. And one of the primary ways that happens is when people struggle with constipation. So your body is constantly making, using, and eliminating hormones. Once estrogen has done its job, your liver helps package it up for removal. That estrogen gets sent into the digestive tract where it's supposed to leave the body through your stool. So it's easy enough, right? The problem happens when you're constipated. So when stool sits in the colon for too long, certain bacteria produce an enzyme called beta glucuronidase. You want to think of this enzyme as like a pair of scissors. The liver carefully packaged up that estrogen for disposal, and then beta glucuronidase cuts it loose again. So instead of leaving the body, that estrogen gets reabsorbed back into circulation. And this process is called estrogen recycling. So now your body's essentially reusing hormones it was trying to get rid of in the first place. This in turn can contribute to symptoms like PMS, breast tenderness, heavy periods, mood swings, irritability, weight gain, bloating, and just overall an increase in perimenopausal symptoms. I often explain it like this. Imagine taking your kitchen trash out to the curb. Then every night somebody comes along and dumps it right back into your kitchen. That's essentially what estrogen recycling is. Your body tries to get rid of it, but it keeps getting put back into circulation. Now, let's talk about bloating. Many women assume bloating is always caused by food sensitivity. Sometimes it actually is, but constipation is one of the biggest causes of bloating that I see. You want to think about what happens when stool sits in the colon. The bacteria living there continue fermenting food. They continue producing gas. Then all of a sudden, pressure starts to build. The abdomen becomes distended. Your clothes feel tighter, and you may wake up flat and then look 6 months pregnant by evening. Many women start eliminating foods when the real issue is that things simply aren't moving efficiently through the digestive tract. Now, Let's talk about weight loss resistance because this is a big one and one I hear almost every day. I cannot tell you how many people come to me saying, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I'm tracking my food, but I cannot lose weight. So when we dig deeper, they're actually having a bowel movement every 3 to 4 days. So if your detoxification pathways aren't functioning well, it becomes much harder for the body to maintain hormonal balance. Elevated estrogen can encourage fat storage, particularly around the hips, thighs, and abdomen. And then inflammation from gut dysfunction can also contribute to insulin resistance. So, when insulin resistance develops, the body becomes more likely to store fat and less likely to burn it. So, it's not that constipation alone causes weight gain, it's that constipation often reflects a larger dysfunction involving hormones, detoxification, inflammation, and metabolism. Now, let's talk about skin issues because this connection surprises people. Your body has multiple ways to remove waste: the liver, the kidneys, the colon, and the skin. So, when one elimination pathway becomes overloaded, the body often compensates through another. That's why I frequently see constipation alongside acne, rosacea, eczema, skin irritation, adult hormonal breakouts. So, if waste products and hormones aren't leaving efficiently through the digestive tract, aka poop, the body often looks for other exits. So, your skin may become one of them. This is why some people notice their skin dramatically improves when their digestion improves. So, what causes constipation in the first place? That's the bigger question. There are many potential root causes. Some of the most common include low stomach acid. Without enough stomach acid, food isn't properly broken down, and then in turn, digestion slows. Low magnesium is another one. Magnesium helps support healthy bowel motility. Dehydration, this is an obvious one. Like you can't create soft, easy to pass stools without enough water. Hypothyroidism, a lot of people do not realize there's a connection here. One of the classic symptoms of an underactive thyroid is constipation. And then we have poor bile flow. Bile acts as a natural lubricant for the digestive tract. And then we have gut infections. So SIBO, methane overgrowth, dysbiosis, parasites, and H. pylori can all affect motility. And then chronic stress. So when you're constantly stuck in fight or flight mode, digestion becomes a lower priority for the body. And then lack of movement. So movement stimulates the digestive tract. A sedentary lifestyle often contributes to sluggish bowels. And this is why I don't like simply recommending laxatives. Like a laxative may help you have a bowel movement, but it doesn't actually answer why you're constipated in the first place. It's essentially just putting a band-aid on the problem. We have to identify the root cause. So if you're struggling with hormone issues, bloating, weight loss resistance, skin problems, or digestive symptoms, I would encourage you to start paying attention to your bowel habits. Ask yourself, am I having a complete bowel movement daily? Do I feel emptied? Do I have bloating after meals? Do I skip days of pooping? Do I strain when I have a bowel movement? Because your bowel movements are one of the most important clues that your body can give you about what's happening internally. At the end of the day, healthy hormones require healthy detoxification, and healthy detoxification requires healthy elimination. So if you're not pooping, you're not eliminating hormones effectively. And if you're not eliminating hormones effectively, it becomes much harder to feel your best. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, how often are you having a bowel movement? Are you having one every day, every other day, a few times a week? And do you notice a connection between your digestion and your hormone symptoms? So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, this sounds exactly like me, just know that constipation is often a symptom and not the root cause. There's usually a reason why things aren't moving the way that they should. It could be gut dysbiosis, SIBO, low stomach acid, poor bile flow, thyroid issues, hormone imbalances, chronic stress, or a combination of several factors. This is exactly why I use functional testing in my practice. Instead of guessing, we can identify what's actually driving the constipation, bloating, hormone symptoms, weight loss resistance, and skin issues so that we can create a targeted plan. If you'd like help getting to the root cause of your symptoms, send me a message with the word gut, and I'll be happy to chat about testing and support options that might be the best fit for you. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and tag a friend who is struggling with bloating, constipation, or hormonal issues. Chances are they may need to hear this too.